What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Colt and Posey Fishing. Today we're going to talk about something different. We've talked about power baits, cold front, so on and so forth, but we haven't really talked or covered that much about finesse baits. So today we're going to talk about finesse baits. Stay tuned, guys. It's something you don't want to miss. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. And like I said, we're going to talk about finesse presentations and my equipment and stuff like that. And like always, all the baits and stuff will be linked down in the description. So all you got to do is when you go down there to like and subscribe to the channel, just hit the description and it'll carry you to where all the lures and stuff is. You can just hit it, carry tackle warehouse, bam, you got everything pulled up. So to begin with this, my setup for just about everything here, it's going to be the Duck It Ghost. Okay, this is the older Ghost, but I like the Green Ghost, the Pro Series, the whole 9 yards. Every one of their spinning rods is wonderful. It's just this one right here. I've had it for a long time. Really like it. Caught a lot of fish off of it, so this is the one I use. It's a 7-foot medium. The reason I do not go up under 7 foot on finesse presentations is a little bit of extra length gives you a little bit more leverage, a little bit more control of the fish. So, and the reels that I like to use, I mean, it's a preference thing. I like Lew's and Daiwa, so just whichever one that you prefer, that's the one I'd suggest you use. I like the Lew's just because just about every spinning reel they have comes in a higher gear ratio, so I can take up a lot of line real fast. The line that I use is the 8-pound Berkeley braid. It's the Jordan Lee version. This is the lime color, that way I can see it really good. And then I tie my Albright knot. I believe it's Albright or Red Phillips knot, whichever one, to my fluorocarbon leader. So on all of these presentations, I'm running braid to fluorocarbon. So that's my setup. We're going to get into the baits. Okay, now the baits that I use on the 7-foot medium powered rod is pretty much every one of these baits. There's only one that I do not. And we're going to start off with your moving baits. So one of the biggest ones I like to use, especially during the fall, and even on through the winter, as long as the water is real clear, I like throwing this Spro spy bait. It is it's got a little lip on it, you can see right there, so it gives it a nice slow wobble, and then it's got the spinners on the front and the back. Another thing that I like too, back here on the back hook, it's got that pivot, so this hook can actually rotate all the way around, so you won't lose near as many fish. And another thing too, if you fish spy baits, you know they're real lightweight. The Spro versions are not. I can cast this thing a country mile. Listen to how heavy it is. So, I mean, it's a lot heavier than other spy baits. Now, the other moving bait that I like to use, especially during the winter, even during the pre-spawn, I like using it, the blade baits. Okay, I'm going to throw a white when the water's kind of muddy. And then if the water's clear and it's bluebird sunny days, it's a beautiful day, I'm going to throw the chrome. That way they can see it a little better. But with these presentations, you're just firing it out there. You're letting it sink and hit bottom. You're picking up, letting it drop. Picking it up, letting it drop. So it's very simple to use each one of these techniques. The Spin John, the spy bait that I showed y'all first, it's one of those you fire out there, let it sink to whatever depth the fish are, and then just slow roll it. The bait will do all the action. You don't have to do nothing. So that's one of the things that I do like. So another thing I like to do, now a lot of people fish with a shaky head. I love the shaky heads. There's certain ways that I fish them that I feel, this is my opinion now, that I feel gets me more bites than other people. This one right here is a Woo Tungsten shaky head. It's a 1/4 ounce. Okay. Now, if you look, it's got the spring lock on here. What I actually like to do with this, I cut that spring lock off. So I'll take me a pair of pliers like this. I'll work this thing back and forth. till I get it to where I can cut it. And then take and cut that joker off. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would you cut that off? It's made to put the worm on there. Well, I don't use these for shaky heads. And I don't for a reason. They're good if you just want to catch a couple of fish off a shaky head. It's no problem. They work just like any of the other ones. I actually use this for a weighted wacky rig. So since I've got that out of the way, I will actually just hook my worm right through there, and this will work as a weight. The reason that I do that, this shaky head sinks a little bit faster. See the shape of the head? How it's kind of angled like an arky jig? That's why. It'll go down a lot faster, and it will come down like this instead of straight down. So there's a little tip for you. Okay, so the next one that I like to use for a shaky head, this is just it's a hand poured shaky head. You can't really buy these in stores. You can, but not with the hook at this angle. But other ones, I mean, they work very well. Don't get discouraged. But if you notice, it doesn't have the screw lock or nothing on it. So what I do is I rig this up. Let me just rig it up for you real quick. Sorry guys, I got stuff thrown everywhere. Ain't got but two of them. Don't want to use them. I've been looking at my stuff. Kidding me? Got a few of them in it. Lord have mercy. Here we go. Let's go with old motor oil. Old motor oil. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rig it like a standard shaky head. I'm gonna take this thing down till about right at the edge of the curve. See how I got that rig? I push the hook all the way through, and I bring the shaky head up just like that. I'm gonna push it all the way up to the head. See how it's facing away from the hook? And then I turn it just like that, and it'll look like this. It'll look goofy. Like, how in the world am I gonna rig this up? Well, what you do, set the worm flat on here, just like that. Then push it. Don't bring it all the way through, but just push it up like this. Now see how this thing has got this crazy curve in it? It looks goofy, like I have no idea what I'm doing. What this actually does, when this bait falls, it'll fall in a spiral pattern like that. It will trigger a lot of bites. So there's your little key on some shaky heads. I mean, I know a lot of people throw them. You still catch fish off of them no matter what. And that little trick right there, to me, catches a lot more fish than a standard shaky head. So I had to get the salt off the hook. The rest of my hooks. Can't be having it. Can't be having it. Okay, I'll get this put up. Alright, so the next one we're going to talk about. Throw this in the garbage over here. Throw it in the garbage. Alright, so the next one we're going to talk about, fairly simple stuff. A Ned rig. A Ned rig works wonders. When it's really, really cold, front's coming through, anything like that, real pressured fishery, Ned rig will shine just about every time. This is a green pumpkin head. This is made by G Money Jigs. See how it's got the keeper right there? Keeps that worm from sliding down. I like fishing the Yum Ned rigs on it, or the Z-Man works well. But the Yum Ned rigs, they've got a, on the tail of them, I know companies advertise that other ones won't stand up. These will. There's a hole in the very bottom of it where the tail is, and it will actually make that rig stand up. So if you purchase the Yum Ned rig worms, you ain't got to worry about them not standing up. So another one that I absolutely love to fish is the wacky rig. And the wacky rig, I use a size 1. I vary. So I use a size 1 sometimes and a size 2 other times. If I'm fishing a spotted bass fishery, a real clear water lake, I throw the size 1. If I'm fishing something that's got a little stain to it or something like that, I'll go up to the 2. But it's just a, I don't know how you'd put it, just an extra wide gap, size 1 hook. I can't remember the name. It's Gamakatsu, but I can't remember the exact what they have it on Tackle Warehouse, but I'll look it up and it'll be linked all down there in the description. So what I like to do on it, I love throwing a Yum Dinger, and the easiest way to do it is buy you a Yum Wacky Rig tool. You'll slide it over the worm, and then you just push the O-ring down on the worm, and then you can just hook it on there. Save you a lot of money on your bait. Here, the final thing that I want to talk about is the, or not the final, but I got 2 more, but one of the final ones I want to talk about is nail weights. So you can purchase a little nail weight, shove it up in the head of your worm, and then you're going to rig your dinger, or you can use the finesse worms like Robo Worm or anything like that, and Nico rig it. And how you Nico rig it, you're going to take this hook and run it through the old wacky O-ring, and then you're just going to work it like a shaky head. Just shake it. It'll keep that worm on bottom, and it'll just move across the bottom with it head down. So that's a great way to catch a lot of fish. Another one is one of my favorites, a drop shot. I've caught a lot of fish off a drop shot. This is a Woo Tungsten drop shot weight. I'm throwing it on that size 1 hook. On a drop shot, I never go over a size 1. I'm always going to throw a size 1 unless I'm throwing something like a Tokyo rig, which is very similar. But the size 1 Gamakatsu hook, extra wide gap. And typically I'll throw like a Robo Worm or something like that. I'll nose hook it, I'll wacky rig it. I'll rig this all goofy kind of ways where you think it wouldn't work and it'll work. And on all these, man, I'm using the same Duck It Go 7-foot medium. About the only one that I will not, I'll throw a medium heavy Duck It Ghost on the Shakey Head. The reason I do that, I want a little bit more backbone. That way when I go to set the hook, I don't just give him the whole bait in full control. I want to be able to drive that hook through his mouth, because that hook's a little bit thicker gauge, or it's a lot thicker gauge than like the Ned rig and the size 1. So guys, that's my finesse presentations. That's what I use. That's how I use them. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'll help you out all I can. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.